You're watching Signing Day live on Scout. We are here all day with big breaking storylines, and we are talking recruiting school by school. But we have some big breaking news right now. Soso Jamabo, #1 running back in the nation, commits to UCLA. This is big for the Bruins. Now they've got 4 players that are #1 at their position in this class. John, what are the Bruins getting in Soso? My favorite running back this year.
And a great name also. The #1 running back on Scout.
It's amazing how things can change.
Guys, this is why we love signing day, because it's always a lot of movement. And lucky for us, we are joined now by a guy who knows the UGA program and the SEC inside and out. Scout National Recruiting Analyst Chad Simmons joins us now. Hey, Chad, as the faxes are rolling in, plenty of big news in the conference. Can you even say what the biggest news is so far in the SEC?
Wow, I mean,
we are going to get back to Florida State in just a second because we have some big-time breaking news. Byron Cowart has announced his decision, and he'll be following Will Muschamp to Auburn.
Interesting.
What do you think about that one, Jamie?
Well, you know, I had him pegged for Florida for a long time simply because I think he always dreamt of playing at the University of Florida, playing in the swamp.
This kid could play so many places. The thing is, he's so athletic. He moves so well. You watch him run, and you're thinking, my goodness, how is that kid that big and able to run that fast and physical? And I mean, I know he played for that defense. I think they gave up like 2 points all season.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
The title game.
But in that defense, he'll be a defensive end for Will Muschamp. He's the ideal guy.
The first time I saw him, I thought that maybe he was someone's parent because he does not look like
I remember
he is in
seeing him
school.
as a freshman at a 7-on at USF at their sling and shoot going, who the heck is this 25-year-old running around with these high school
Exactly.
kids?
I see some. Yes, John.
And what about Will Muschamp here? This guy's a Florida fan his whole life. Everybody pegs him to Florida. Like you said, that was just the easy, safe bet. And here comes Will Muschamp after obviously the disappointing season, goes to Auburn and just completely changes the game for one of the most dynamic players in the country.
They're not done yet.
Yeah, we're going to
and Muschamp and Cowart, so similar in personality. Super intense, super competitive. They want to win at every single thing they do. A perfect match.
Really interesting. So we are going to get to know Byron Cowart a little bit more right now in this Scout Spotlight video. Here he is, the new Auburn Tiger commit.
This is a guy that SEC coaches told me could be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft in a few years. Just a remarkable story for a really smart kid, able to reclassify and then obviously take advantage of his athletic skill in the process.
The rest of the SEC should be shuddering right now with what Auburn has been able to do and could still do the rest of today with this class. We're going to move on now to Texas A&M. No shortage of drama there as well for Kevin Sumlin, but he does keep his quarterback, Kyler Murray, maybe the best player in the country. What do you guys like about what Kevin Sumlin's done?
Well, Kyler Murray's fantastic for Butch Jones.
Well, and he certainly got the players to get those wins, so definitely important for them to be translating that to the field. As you mentioned, we talked about Khalil McKenzie and what a special player he is and a huge pickup for the Tennessee Volunteers. Here is Scout's #1 in this Scout Spotlight. Well, a relentless recruiter and certainly something to keep an eye on today is Van Jefferson, a receiver, big-time receiver from the South who committed to Ole Miss recently, but there's some buzz that Michigan may have a real shot at him today. What has been the response to just the name Jim Harbaugh from a lot of the guys that you've talked to?
you know, he hasn't been there long enough.
They try to get back to where they have been playing.
All right, so now we're going to move on to LSU. I absolutely love this class that Les Miles has put together. And one of the more recent pickups, Arden Key, former South Carolina commit, one of my favorite players from the Under Armour game. A couple of 5-star corners in Kevin Tolliver and Dante Jackson, some stud running backs. What do you think of Les Miles'
Where do you want to start?
I know, where do we even, Tyron Johnson?
Yeah, I play DB, so I'll start with the DBs. Kevin Tolliver, Dante Jackson.
Long term for LSU.
Plenty of exciting things going on in the Bayou today. Let's bring in Ben Love of Tiger Sports Digest for more on LSU. Hey, Ben, how are things looking today for the Tigers on signing day?
They're going pretty well.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Signing Day Live alongside Bill Green and Brian Doan. I'm Amy Campbell, and guys, we just got some big breaking news. Great news for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Wide receiver KJ Hill commits to the Buckeyes, and Torrance Gibson, quarterback. There was some rumors he might not sign, but he's signing with Ohio State. They're now up to #5 in our recruiting rankings. Bill, this is huge for them.
Yeah, you knew they were going to get Torrance Gibson this morning when he took his Twitter and took off Ohio State committee.
I still think at the end of the day he's going to pick Auburn here in the next hour.
Well,
Excuse me, not Auburn, Missouri.
Missouri.
Wrong Tiger team.
Still Tigers. We talked about Drew Lock and what a big get he is for the Tigers. We are going to get a closer look at this 4-star prospect right here in the Scout Spotlight. You're watching Signing Day Live on Scout. I'm Amy Campbell, joined by Brian Doan, Jamie Newberg, and John Garcia. We just saw this Scout spotlight of Jaquan Johnson. Huge for the Hurricanes to already have him on campus. He'll be participating in spring ball. But we've got some news here this morning. Patrick Allen, offensive tackle, commits to Georgia. What does this mean for the Bulldogs?
Well, I think it's a big thing for Georgia and really help expedite that process.
Well, and Cole is not the only one from that school as well. Several guys from Miramar High School headed to West Virginia and have been committed throughout the year, and we have got more on one of them, 4-star wide receiver Javon Durant of Miramar. Very talented receiver prospect, great fit at West Virginia. Let's get to know him a bit more in this Scout Spotlight.